Hi there. Thanks for stopping by. October has been a really busy month for me on top of my normal, you know, full-time job, walking the dogs, going to the gym, and everything else that goes along with normal life. We've had numerous additional appointments. My mom has some appointments that she always needs some support with. Plus, we have back-to-back weddings this month. One of the two weddings is what I'm going to be calling a mini destination wedding. It is about 4 hours from our home, so obviously we need to spend the night. So that is just, one more thing that I have to take care of this month. So I'm, looking for a little help as far as getting my layouts done. So I pulled in this sketch. It was designed by my friend Erin from Crafty Concepts with Erin, and it's just going to help me get my layout and my video completed. So sketches are great. Makes life sometimes a lot easier. So as you can see, to me, I see celebration in this layout. The banners, to me, they look like they could be a birthday party, maybe celebrating a first birthday or New Year's Eve, or even I think very cute if it were for an Easter layout. What I am documenting is some crafty time with my granddaughter. Don't get to see her very often. Her and her dad live 2,000 miles away, so we get out to visit as often as we can. But she likes to do crafts. She's actually very much into painting. But I picked up this cute little sweet and spooky kit from Stampin' Up, and it builds, I don't know if you can see these cute little milk carton boxes. So I helped her build the boxes and she did all the decorating. These are all her little tags that went on there. You can see her stuffing her boxes with her candies and some more decorations. Here is the finished boxes. They came out so cute and they were so easy to do. And, she filled them up with her favorite candy and she handed them out to her friends. So have my journaling square all done. I have 5 photos. And based on Erin's sketch, there are 6, so one of them will be for my journaling. Let me bring in my paper. This is the Spooky Sweet Designer Series paper. I don't have a ton of it left. I've cut into it a lot. I really do like a lot of these papers. This candy, I love this candy paper. I wish that I could just buy more of that paper. But really pretty paper, black and with orange ticking. We've got some cute little animals. Reverse side is orange with some black spots. Just really fun. Definitely Halloweeny. Great scene paper. Some great neutrals. Opposite side of this one are some tags and banners. And I think that is pretty much it. Like I said, I've cut into it. I do have, there's a pink piece in here, which is not much left of that either. Comes with a sticker sheet. Really cute stickers. Might be bringing a few of those in. And on top of the sticker sheet, there are these fun die cuts. Get those out. So this is another fun paper. I think this is the back of the pink, but it had a really fun scene on top. And then you can use these cards just for decorating the gate. Very, very cute. And then it comes with 2 sheets of these punch outs that punch out super easy, that I'm going to use some of these for my embellishments. So let me clear some of these out and show you what I think I would like to use. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot of it left, so I'm going to have to use what I have. So what I'm thinking is on Erin's sketch here, she has just the base paper, a couple strips across the top, a couple on each side. Super simple. The focus here definitely is this fun banner swag element here. So I think I'm going to start with this white. Oh, there's some more. This white with orange ticking paper, because all the pictures have orange in them from all the decorations. So definitely need to bring an orange, black, gray, white. So Erin has, like I said, a couple of strips across the top. And what I'm thinking is I would like to put this bold orange up at the top. I haven't cut anything down yet. And then the smaller stripe, I'm thinking this gray. I could go with black. I have this paper. This is last year's Halloween paper, and I don't remember the name of it. I didn't put it on my folder, but this black and white one could be fun. So let's just slide that in there in lieu of the gray. And it'll just, oh, look at that. There's papers hiding everywhere. So I could do that, and that doesn't look bad. Or I can take and let's slide that one down a second and do the gray. And I'm just thinking, I think I'm going to go, I think I like the gray better. I think the black, I don't know if it's the pattern, if it's just too busy, or if it's just too stark. Even a little gray edge, that would be kind of cute too. Well, maybe we will do that. But I want to leave room up on top where she has her embellishments. So I want to leave a generous amount, at least 2 inches. So if we did that, and let's lay our photos out and just see, you know, as far as the placement, if it would give us enough room to put the photos in. And we're going to end up stopping just about here. You know what? We might be able to do that. That might look really cute. Let me cut these down real quick. I went ahead, cut everything down, and I inked up all my edges, oranges and pumpkin pie. The black strip, I just used the Memento Tuxedo black. I haven't adhered down these little strips yet. I also inked them up in black because when I build my clusters, I might want to tuck things underneath. I have some tags, and just in case I want to tuck them underneath. And what I ended up doing is I left this open. I didn't put any adhesive. I only put it on the 3 sides. And then I will lay this one down once it's all done, and that will hold everything into place. So I'm just going to put these aside for now. And looking back at Erin's sketch, she's got just 2 pieces of cardstock or pattern paper, whatever you would like to use, on each side. And I'm thinking I'm going to bring in this candy paper. Absolutely love it. And then this Bubbles is also from last year's Halloween paper. So you've got, I think they go that way, got some stars or some sparkles, and then you have like the bubbles coming out of the cauldron. So but I'm thinking I only have very little bit of this left. So I'm going to cut this piece in half because I think lengthwise it's going to give me plenty of room. And then this one will come here. It's going to be a little bit shorter. And this one will frame in the green. So I'm thinking, let me grab my paper cutter. Should be able just to cut this one in half. Let's see, which way do I want to go? I think that way. So all in all, this piece is 8 inches. I don't think I need 4. I'm thinking maybe, oh, let's just cut it in half. That way, in case I don't have enough, I don't have to worry because I can't cut more. So we're going to stick that right there. And then this one, I'm going to do also the probably 4 inches wide as well, but I'm going to bring it about an inch shorter. So this one's looking like it's about 8 inches. So I'll probably do a 7-inch by a 4-inch piece. Let's go this way because I do want it to go in the right direction. So that looks about right. And then I'm going to need another 4-inch piece for the other side. Alrighty. And then let's just cut this down to about 7 inches. So that's what I'm thinking. Could always trim it down a little bit more if I end up not liking it. So that one there. And this will go right here. And then this one 7 inches as well. So looks good. Close up my paper trimmer. Let's lay these out and see. I will come in and ink these up as well because I like the definition it gives. But I'm liking that. This one could probably be, I don't think an inch shorter, but I don't know. maybe take a ½ inch off. I think will make it look a little bit better. But let's see. Let's lay this out. So my idea for the photos, I'm going to lay those down here. It's a stringer of banners. So I went ahead and I cut out some banners, and I used the party banner dies. I'll show you in a second how I cut them because I made them longer than the actual die. So let's just lay these down. So she's got 3 on each side. Let's get those. And I did them, I chose this one because it worked perfectly with the size of my photos. I left myself a little tiny, a 1/16 of an inch border. I printed, had the border when I printed it. So let's put these in order. So let's see. So I think this is the first one. That's where she's starting. These are her completed tags. Then we have where she's filling them with candy. I think this one I'm going to make my journaling square there. Then we have the completed ones and the ones with her. So I think that's how I'm going to lay out my banners. Let me show you real quick how I did this. I'm going to bring in my little embossing machine, cut and emboss machine. So like I said, I used the party banner dies, and I ended up using, I think it's, pull one in so I get the right width. This one right here. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the 7th one from the inside. So to do this, you need to do a partial cut. So what we want to do is start with just cutting the banner tail. So I'm actually going to still adhere it down just to make it easier. I'm hoping to slide. When I made these, I actually made like a little jig, I guess you could call it, because I had to cut out 6. So I cut out one, or a template, I guess. And once I created the first, I knew how far back I needed to go. So I'm going to take this, I apologize for any shake. I'm going to go about 3/4 of the way, almost actually all the way through. Now, if you let this part hang off, it will not cut. So as long as there's no pressure between the die, it will not cut. So once I had that done, I went and I'm going to take this one as my guide. So, and then I figured out how long I wanted it to be. And I'm going to mark that. Real simple. Oops. And then I tried my best to keep the die in the track of where it cut. So we want to basically keep it in the little groove. I'm going to slide it back to where I want it to be and tape it back down. And then you can just kind of feel, see, that one was not in, so let's make sure it's in. If not, you might just have to trim a little bit off to straighten it out. You can also, once you have it adhered down, you can flip it over. I can feel that it's in the right position. I'm going to turn it around. I want the tail end hanging off because I don't want to cut it this time. Place my plate on top. Bring this back in. And then just run it through. I'm not going to run it all the way. Yeah, sorry for the shake. With the straight edge, it's really hard for harder for the die cut machine. So it clunks a little bit. Let's move that out of the way. Lost my picture there. And should be able. Oh, I see I was very close. I didn't get quite far enough, but you then just come in and trim off that little tiny piece. And that's how you can extend your dies. So the longer you go, the longer your die can be. So this one isn't a whole lot bigger, but I did want it larger than what it was. So let me move this out of the way and let's lay these out. I'm going to place that back in its spot. There we go. So that's what I'm going to be doing for them, for my banners. So I'm going to bring in some, I'm hoping some bats, because she's got bats and all kinds of little critters there. If not, maybe we'll bring in maybe even a little stringer, just so that it's all connected. So let me just clear this out. I want to ink up those couple of pieces and get those adhered down. I inked up my papers. I used again the Memento Tuxedo Black, and I used Granny Apple Green on this one. And I was thinking, if you didn't put your pictures on banners like I'm doing, I think it would have been really cute if you took this piece right here. So for me, it would be green, and make a banner out of that on both sides. That would have been a really, really cute element. So let's lay out the photos real quick. I'm just going to dry fit them here and see what we have to use as the little attachments in between the photos. So let me straighten that out. There we go. So they're going to go like this. And I've got a fair amount of space between each one. So I do have some bats. I think they're part of the sticker sheet. Let me grab those. I brought in my bats, and I'm popping them up on just foam squares. These are just mini, really low loft foam squares, and I cut them in half because these little bats, they are tiny. They are from the Punch Out Die page, and they come with a pretty healthy border of white around them. So I went ahead, oops, one there, and I trim them, fussy cut them small or thinner, because I don't like that really thick border. So went around and cut those all out, and I'm just going to peel off the backers, and I want to use them to be my string or my stringer. So I'm just going to place them in between each photo. I did adhere my photos down, so I knew this would work, that I'd have good placement. It'd be pretty depressing if I put them all down and then my bats didn't fit. So I just thought that was a cute, way to attach the photos, making it look like it's like a little stringer. So I also have a set that stamps out the bats, and then you still would have to fussy cut them. Does not come with a die. So definitely a labor of love. It does take a little time, but sit down, watch a good podcast or a YouTube video and cut away. So I've got just a couple more left to do. And I like the way that came out. I think that just came out rather cute. And popping them up just gives them a little dimension, because they didn't lay flat properly unless I did pop them up. So I've got one last one left, and then we can start our embellishment process. So there we go. Last one. There we are. So I have a whole box of embellishments like normal. I do love cutting them out and having a lot to choose from. I did these really fun spider webs. Figured I'd put one in each corner. So I cut out 2 spider webs. These are just out of, I don't even know, smoky slate, I think is what I use, but I did them on my Cricut. So just Googled or, searched spider webs, and I wanted a really pretty or a simple shape. I did choose like it was an intricate cut, and it cut it twice. So it went over each cut twice. So it cut it nice and clean. I did punch out some tags in the Granny Apple Green. I did them on the light side. And then I also have a couple of smaller tags in gray. I'm not sure we're going to use them, but I thought if I do, it would probably be up here. I'd have to cut them to tuck them in. I don't know if I need them for my, to border my embellishments. I got some really cute embellishments. Again, these are from my Cricut. Again, super simple. So this is a solid image. Some of them came with an outline, and I just took it and I reversed it so that they went in opposite directions. So let's pop a ghost on each side. It's going to be a pretty mirrored embellishment cluster, I think. And then I have these really cute candy jars. These are, I believe, from the Jars of Joy. I think it's what it's called. Hold on, let me go check real quick. There are actually two sets. They're not 100% identical, but the punch that coordinates with this series, I guess I'm going to call it, cuts out both of them. So there's Sweet Jar, which has like these little candies or shamrocks or little hearts, birthday candles. And then for the holidays, we've got Jar of Joy, has the ornaments, a little snowman that you can build up with a scarf and a little stripe for his hat. And then the Gingerbread Man, which is a two-part stamp. It, like I said, it does come with a punch out the jar and the lid. So you can stamp the lid and jar and punch them, or you can just punch them. So I did stamp the jar and then I punched it out, and then I just punched out a gray lid for the jar. So let's see how let's work on this side so that's not in the way. I might have too much, might have to get rid of a few things. We'll have to wait and see. But I have these cute little candy corns, and that's what I want to put in my jar. I have some that I stamped, and then these are the punch out again that I trimmed down, my fussy cut down. I think I want to use the larger ones because there's a lot of room to fill up, and I'm just going to put them inside my jar and make it look like it's filled with candy corns. So something like that. Let me move that little guy for right now. That can come over here. He might even come out somewhere else, who knows. I stamped out a cat, did not color him. I have a crow. I have a couple of crows. These are stamps as well. These are from last year's stamp set. I don't know. I'd have to pull it out and look. But this is from last year's Halloween set. So from this current pack, last year's set was the Potions and Spells. That's where the cat is from. And then I cut out a couple of crows. Not sure if I'm going to use them. But the candy corns that I stamped and cut out, those are from the set, as well as this little title or sentiment here for the candy. I also have a couple of bats that I stamped out. I haven't cut those out yet. I didn't think I really needed them. So I went ahead and thinking I'm going to not make it identical. I think I'll do one side with the candy jar, the ghost on this side, and then these fun little candies here that I made are from the Gingerbread Man Dies. And so it's this one right here and that one right there. So I just did candies in coordinating colors so that they would match. I did a green one and an orange one. Thought we could tuck those in since this is a candy themed layout. Maybe something like that. And let's see if we should, I know I have one of each for each side. So let's grab that and add that over here. Just put one on each side, one there. And let's go with the green one on this side. And let's add the orange one on this side. I will cut down those tags. I think I am going to keep them. So I like that, very cute. I do need still to build my title, so I'm still thinking about that, but thinking maybe crafting with Omi, In German, Omi is grandma. She calls me Omi. So I think that would be cute right along here like Erin has. So let me cut down these tags a little bit so we can tuck those in behind and start adhering down a couple of these embellishments. I assembled my cluster here on the left. I popped up that little sentiment on some foam dots. On this side, I'm not quite done. I kind of just wanted to show you how I went about building it. I just laid my tags down where I wanted them, came in with a pencil, just drew a little line because I don't need the entire tag. That was Alice, if you heard her. She loves to say hi when I'm filming a video. But I'm going to stick that there like this, and then this tag can go right here. Spiderweb, let's adhere that down first. And I'm just using some Barely Art glue. This is just, I just move it into a smaller bottle. Just a little easier to manage. Don't need much. Just gonna try to catch, a couple of the edges and maybe down the center of the spider web, just so that it adheres nicely, lays flat. So just a couple more dots there, and then I'm just clean that up. This one fits right here in the corner. So I do have to say, I cut this before I planned how big this piece of DSP was, and I'm pretty lucky. It's perfect size. It fits perfectly in there. So let's bring in some tape runner. Get these little guys taped down. Bring it over just a touch. I'm going to bring it right below the edge of that orange paper, because remember, we've got these strips here still that we're going to use to just clean everything up. So let's get that adhered down like that. I went ahead and I glued my little lid to my jar and glued my candy corns down. A couple of them I popped up just for a little bit of dimension. So let's place that one here. The candy mint there, or creamsicle is what I'm thinking it is. Maybe we'll put that one there. So I like that. So I'm going to pop this up as well, because it's just going to be a little bit bulky. Otherwise, it's not going to lay flat. I'm just going to lay that there and not press down too hard till I bring in my candy jar again, so I get a good placement. And these can actually sit either right on top or right under that strip that we're going to be placing on there. So let's see, maybe we want to have the candy go up a little different than the other side. So let's press those down. Let me bring in just some foam squares so that we can get this way. It will lay nicer. Otherwise it's kind of a little cattywampus there. So that should be enough. Get those backers removed and get this little guy adhered down. And all we'll have left to do is the title. So let's see, it's right about there. Wondering, I'll lift that up just a bit. I'm going to take one more. I can feel that it's not laying very flat. Excuse my head if it gets in the way. Let's trim it in half. And I'm just going to tuck it back here just to give it just that extra support, just like that. I'm not even going to take the backer off. I think it's going to be just fine right like that. I do have a little bit of silver bling. This is just for my stash. And we're going to cover up those those holes on our tags. So let me see if we want the bigger ones. Oops, me and bling these days. Yeah, I like that size. So let's see if we can get those up. We'll put one on each tag hole, so we have no naked tags. One more. And then I just need to, whoops, come on. That way then. There we go. There we go. Perfect. That is looking good. So let me cut out a title real fast and we'll get that adhered down. I'm finishing adhering down my title, which I used the alphabet a la mode and pumpkin pie. Can't glue and talk. Pumpkin pie, the two-tone cardstock. Just using my reverse tweezers to hold it while I put the glue on, because I'm finding I'm a little more successful using my fingers to get those letters right where I want them. I'm using, let's glue down. I'm using the edge of my banners for my ledge or for the anchor for my letters, so that way they have somewhere to rest. Let's put down the last one. Excuse my head if it gets in the way. Let's see, that's a little high. There we go. There, oops, that one doesn't want to stay down. Alrighty. So I have crafting with Omi, because that is what we did. I do want to sprinkle a little bit more bling around. So I'm just going to take, let's see, there are only 2 sizes, so I'll just take a few more and maybe just put a couple around each cluster, because I like the bling. Oopsies, maybe just one right there. And let's just put a couple more here on the other side. I might add a few more of those little bats. I only have one more left, so I will need to cut some more out. So we'll see about that, since that is a lot of fussy cutting. So let's, oh my goodness, one more. There we go. Let's see. I think maybe just right here, that would be cute. So let me just pull in a couple more bats and fussy cut a few out, and then we can sprinkle just a few around, and then have to put our little gray strips back down and our layout will be done. I found a few more bats, got them all fussy cut out. I only had 4 left, so I put 2 on each side. We still have this piece of gray trim to put on. I'm just going to run a bead of glue in that little channel, and I'll start on one side and get that adhered down, and then we're going to run it under that little sentiment. So let's run a little bit of bead of glue over here, just a touch right there. And we're going to just tuck that right underneath. I want to go over those tags. Let's pull it a little. Sorry, I hope my head is not in the shot there. Oops. And let's bring that all the way over, and just a little touch of glue. I don't think I put enough on this side. Just to hold that down. There we go. Cute. Cute, 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 cute. So let me bring it in. I can take a closer look at my little embellishments. There we go. So the candy jar, which I think is a cutest little thing that you could put just so many different things inside of that. And the different colors of, you can make them peppermints, you can make them, I'm calling these creamsicles and lime, but winter mint when you do different green. I love this way my spider web fit in absolutely perfect. And then here on the other side, oops, tack that down with a couple of glue dots there, but the ghost, and I just think, the candy tied in so well with what, she was doing, and it was just so much fun to be able to craft with her. I just love doing it every time I come out. I will leave everything I used in the description box down below. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you could share me with your friends, I greatly appreciate it. And I hope to see you again here on YouTube real soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.